Culture.org is here with Chad Hugo, a legendary songwriter and producer known for shaping pop culture in the late 90s throughout the 2000s and beyond. He's an American multi-instrumentalist and record producer, best known for one half of Neptunes, as well as a member of N.E.R.D. He plays the sax, piano, guitar, keyboard, and bass, and is responsible for numerous #1 chart-topping hits over the years. Chad, my first question for you is,
That's good.
what is your earliest memory of music that you felt formed the genre you make today?
Oh, okay. Well, when I was a kid, my dad gave me a room to play the phonograph, and I had a turntable. It wasn't a turntable, but it was the record player where you had to put the record on the top, press start, and then have the arm, drop it. And I had the records I had were like everything from the Wizard of Oz soundtrack to Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, and the Bible, which was a crazy record because it was the first time I heard frogs falling from the sky. So everything now is visual, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Once N.E.R.D. was discovered by Teddy Riley and was able to release records, you've worked with Star Trek, Columbia, Fool's Gold, Interscope, and I Am Other. Do you remember the first song you wrote and recorded, whether it was released or unreleased, under the Neptunes and N.E.R.D?
The first song I recorded was in the studio of Teddy Riley. It was Tonight's the Night. It was an R&B song on the Black Street album. Yeah, that was fun. That was good.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about the summer of 2001 when you were recording with Pusha T in your parents' home, and Pusha T is displaying acts of taekwondo and all these athletic maneuvers that you yourself were kind of surprised by at that time? Is it common for artists to show that side of themselves when they're in the studio with the Neptunes?
Yes, that was just a way of him warming up. Some people, I don't know, he was just in his zone, stretching and writing and stuff. But it was all about zen and peaceful for him. So it was about going in the booth and recording that killer rhyme. So yeah, it was good times back then. Mom's crib.
A little bit more down memory lane. Is it true that you played the saxophone on Jay-Z's City Is Mine from Volume 1 In My Lifetime?
Yes, that is true. I did play soprano saxophone.
How did that come about? Can you tell us about that session?
It was in Future Records studio in Virginia Beach, and I had my saxophone. I think I was taking a gig at the Spirit of Norfolk, which is a local cruise line in Norfolk, and that was my gig at the time. And I got called in actually I was just there with my saxophone, and Teddy Riley asked me if I can play on the song with Jay-Z, and that was The City Is Mine. And that was pretty dope session. I was excited about that being recorded.
Having spanned your career over 20 years and going, what is your relationship with Teddy like today?
I guess we're all friends in the music industry. We work together, and so we support each other every which way we can. I pay homage to pioneers, and Teddy is one of them.
At the Record Plant recording studio in Hollywood, you had countless sessions with Snoop, with Nelly, and there were sometimes you couldn't remember who was all in there because it was just so nonstop. How much has your recording process changed from those days when you were in Record Plant recording studio, taking jump shots, as opposed to now your work with Rex Orange County, Earl Sweatshirt, The Internet,
Yeah.
S.G. Lewis?
It's funny you mentioned taking jump shots, because in the studio setting, there's sometimes things like ping pong tables and hoops. I know at the record plant there was like a basketball hoop in in the recording room where orchestras would normally play. There's a ball court in there, and that's one thing you don't get from the laptop setting. People are available to play things on their laptop and program it and collaborate online, but there's nothing like the studio sessions from when we recorded those tunes. People would come in and it would be like an all-out recording session, just nothing but studio time, and I'd be there late and mixing and with the engineer getting all the drum sounds the way they should sound.
Your recent work, fast forwarding a little bit to the present, N.E.R.D released the album No One Ever Really Dies in December 15th, 2017. And after that, you worked on Man of the Woods from Justin Timberlake. Your work on Supplies, can you tell us about why that track felt like kind of the right thing at that moment? And what was your creative process like when working on that particular record with JT, and why you were proud of that one?
When we recorded the song Supplies with Justin, it was in a recording studio called Conway, which they have like all these plants and stuff outside. And the premise of Justin, from what I gather, was he's trying to take it back home. And a lot of things had to do with like home base. And I know there's one line there, is, "You could be my generator," and that's like, you know, that kind of hit home. We live in hurricane territory, and I don't write lyrics, but it's just I like that track. It's dope.
What is it that draws you to work with new artists? You're working with S.G. Lewis, as well as Earl Sweatshirt, although he's not that new. The internet. I guess, what is the most exciting thing about working with these artists like Earl, like Matt and Sid and S.G. Lewis, Rex Orange County?
Yeah. The cool thing about the Odd Future is they always bring a fresh energy to the studio from everything they do, and I just go in there and do what I can to help bring the sounds and help Pharrell come up with a new sound, whatever it may be. Those guys are just self-contained. They just do what they can, you know, just get it popping. I'm sure to make the snare crack.
Do you remember the exact moment when Tyler voiced his immense fandom for N.E.R.D, and that eventually made its way to y'all and entered y'all's universe? Like, wow, Tyler is an artist himself, but he's also like possibly the biggest recording artist / fan of us in the industry.
Really?
I would say so.
Oh wow!
He's literally said on record it's changed his life countless times.
Awesome. I think he's great.
Yeah. I mean, that moment that you heard that, do you remember?
I have not heard that, but I take that to heart. I think that's awesome. I think blessing to him and his family. I think that's great.
As streaming has kind of taken over the music industry, do you find that your approach to releasing has kind of altered or has adapted to that model, or are you still very much doing what you do best in terms of releasing?
Doing what I can, doing my best. I don't know, man. This is Afrofest. This is Afropunk. That's dope.
Afropunk.
Let's do one last question. You gotta wrap it up.
Afropunk, Atlanta, Georgia, home of trap music,
home of trap music,
home of Outkast. What's your fondest memory of being in Atlanta? Whether it's for a festival like Afropunk, whether it's for a recording session, whether it's for a show, a tour stop.
I think it's awesome. I want to live here. I like Atlanta. I'll live here. Yeah.
And what's next for you in terms of releases? Do you have something coming up with S.G. Lewis? Work on Earl's new album?
That would be awesome if I worked on Earl's album. I was just in the studio with Omas Key, so we were recording some music together. And
Yes,
yeah,
you've been working on S.G. Lewis's current stuff that he
yeah,
hasn't released yet.
yes, that is true. Yeah,
Right. Can we hear that?
Can you hear it?
Can you say it?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So just talk about working with S.G.
S.G. Lewis. So yeah, we recorded a tune. We recorded some songs, and there's a tune. Meant to Be is available now, but that was a single. So singles here and there.